We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are, as we are off and running on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now a late signee let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They run it again with Cook. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. You look at this Cowboy defense. And they come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
Definitely going to need to be physical with these receivers, whether that's right at the line of scrimmage trying to jam them and bump them off their routes, or when the ball arrives and you go ahead and put your shoulder into them and try and knock it loose.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out. How vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
3rd and 5. Throwing is Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Tyler Conklin, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jets get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt, because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. In motion, the tight end. Now a man who's taken the reins with the Cowboys. It's Tony Pollard. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
A great run by Pollard, and runs like that have had us anticipating a breakout season from him for years. And it finally arrived in 2022. Dallas gave him more run, and he had his first 1,000-yard season despite receiving less than 200 touches.
Flushed out right. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Left side, Cook. Down to about the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
To throw is Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
On play action. Now Rodgers. Rolling to his right. Open man is Uzomah. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now second down. You look at this Cowboy defense. They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
And this game for them is all about the line of scrimmage. Winning that battle, using their leverage, being the low man with power to take the offensive linemen and run them back into their own backfield and try and create some lost yardage plays.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. A yard all they need, but it's third down. Third down. Here's a run by Cook. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Again, it's Cook. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Dalvin Cook with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Zuerlein now for the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
A second down throw for Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. This defense for the Jets, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
That is caught. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get caught.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Jets have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, I think even he's chuckling a little bit now. What a start this is to a regular season. Charles, remember, 3 touchdowns on the ground last week in the opener, and he's got 2 more here. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, he has to be a little bit on the incredulous side, doesn't he? Is this how it's going to go all year long? If I'm dreaming, don't wake me up.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now left side on the swing pass. Into space at the 45 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here we go, 46, 46. 26.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Sauce Gardner picks it off. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming complete. Shaken a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
26.
Cook up the gut. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Out to his left. And it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Conklin with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jets are able to widen their lead here in this first half. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This taken in at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
On the set.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. From the 35, here's 2nd and 3.
Ready, ready.
A run with Vaughn out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Let's face it, when you have a guy who can pick up those types of runs and keep the chains moving or stay ahead of the chains, you're making everyone else on offense happy because you're opening things up to allow for a whole lot of different play calls.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here we go. Set.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Cut.
Out of the gun, a give to Pollard. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard, 61 yards. And the Cowboys are able to cut into that deficit. Rodrigo Blankenship now for the PAT. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Hardman will elect not to bring this out, and the football will be on the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Hall again on 2nd down. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Up the middle, it's Cook. Oh, fighting off the defender. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
A 7-yard pickup.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
Plant. 26. Easy.
Rodgers going to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Hey, take 26.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
2nd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Back to north. Here we go.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this one dropped in the end zone. Oh, looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And that is no good. And the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns. So an 8-play drive gets them down there, but play number 9, that winds up a missed field goal.
And they definitely moved the ball well. That's a drive where you hate to come away with nothing.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Escaping the pressure right. And that's caught inside the 35. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has 2 options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
Here we go.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Vaughn. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Ready, break.
This is 2nd and 8. Lance looking to throw it. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
3rd and 3.
Ready.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Ready.
Here's Lance to throw it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Out there is Rodrigo Blankenship in the field goal unit. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. Blankenship's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Now Rodgers. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Now Lance. This one swung out to Vaughn, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
A give. This is Cook. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
First down, Jets.
They'll try the wide side with Cook. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here's Cook again. Runs through the contact. And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 22. 94 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Here comes 3rd and about a foot. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And that hits the right upright and caroms away It's no good. And this will remain an 18-point lead. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
Cheetah, cheetah. Slide, 97. Slide 2. Set, go.
Throwing on first down is Lance. That's dumped off to Pollard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And you start to think if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a first down.
Steel, black. Ready.
On first and 10, here's Lance. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
No receivers open downfield, so instead of forcing the ball to the sideline, he's going to throw this one down to Fort Worth. He'd rather have the incompletion than the turnover.
Blaster, 6. Ready, ready.
Shotgun now for Lance. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Vaughn. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That good for 22 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Let's go now. Black shot. Blue striking. Edo blue. Hut.
Working from the gun, Lance. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Pollard. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead is down to 11 and 28-17. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Hardman, he is not going to bring this out, so they will start the drive at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a first and 10. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Rodgers. He finds Wilson, and he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
102 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
In motion right, that's Hardman.
Inside.
Rodgers to throw on second down. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he's got this down to the 35. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Box it, box it, box it, box it. Yeah,
Rodgers to throw once more. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Allen Lazard, 35 yards. And the Jets are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and the lead is up to 18 now. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Got it.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Lance. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. 150.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Throwing is Rodgers. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets are on their way to a 2-0 start. So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you. No question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Come on, set. Ready?
They start the drive with Vaughn. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On first down, they go back to Vaughn again. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Vaughn on 1st and 10. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Now Lance throws the interception, his third. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Here we go.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
To throw, it's Lance. He finds his man, Pollard. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Option play, here's Pollard. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
This now a 3rd and 4. And Lance now to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Jump out!
Rodgers now on first down. Oh, he still brings it in off the tip here on the deep shot. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Rodgers going to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone...
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Aaron Rodgers on fire, his 5th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Jets continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
On the ready.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32. From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Ready.
Staying on the ground with Vaughn. Powers through him. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 72 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Defensively, with this lead in the 4th quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Okay, right. Hut, hut.
On the counter, it's Vaughn. And some room to roam now. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Let's go. Set.
Running behind center with Vaughn. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Bryce Hall there defensively.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
Quick throw, and it's caught by Gallup. That'll go for a gain of 7. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Lance going to try and throw on 3rd down here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And the Jets have got it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there. Rodgers looking to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Blaster, stick.
Throwing now is Lance. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing till the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
Black shot. Blue striker.
One final try now for Lance. That is caught. They'll have the 1st down and more than that. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, at least at the very end, there's something to take away. They lost the game, but got in the end zone, got a 2-point conversion as well. I don't know, though. In the end, you still lost the football game.
You still lost the game, but maybe they were just capitalizing on the flurry at the end, right? You scored the touchdown, keep the momentum going, go for 2. Maybe they're working on something for down the road. As you said, it doesn't matter. You lose the game, but you finish with a touchdown and a successful 2-point
Some
conversion.
sort of a building block.
Yeah, something.